Okay, hey guys, the MV2031 here, and this is a deck profile of the guy who won on locals today. His name is Josh, and here's his deck profile.
Okay, the deck I ran today and won with was called Geargia Scraps, so I'll just go through it real fast for those who aren't familiar. This is a slower meta, anti-meta based build that can go against windups, heroes, all that stuff. So I'll just go ahead and start laying out the stuff right now. Basically, if you guys don't know what scraps do, they recycle heavily, so they rely on the graveyard. 3 Chimera, 3 Beast. Chimera brings back Beast when he's in the graveyard, and when Beast is destroyed by a scrap effect, he brings 1 scrap monster to hand, mainly Chimera. These guys can go into Scrapjag and give you nasty pluses. Plus, they're hard to get rid of once Scrapjag hits the field. And then I started to throw in the Geargia engine into it, and basically what Armor does is he searches for more Geargias, which is what these guys do when you have another Geargia on the field. Special field presence, you can go in Shockmaster if needed. Geargia, you can search out. You can just have massive field presence with these guys. Heavily recommended.
I still prefer Formula Synchron over these guys.
Shut up.
Next is the 2 Arsenals. When you can tribute him to search out other Geargias and special summon him, namely Armor. Most people would run 2 or 3. I run 2 just because of deck limitations. And then the one that's actually won me a few games is Weisel. Whenever a card is destroyed by card effects, so basically if you pop your own scrap monsters with like Scrap Storm or the Heavy Storm or something, you summon this guy out, and he negates spells, which is good for heroes.
And he takes Synchros too.
And he takes Synchros too, so I mean...
So, we good against Sam's and other things.
And he can be searched out from Geargia, because he is a machine, he's lower than level 4. Great card to have. I would just tech in 1. Now this goes along with the Scrap Engine, Scrap Storm. This allows you to draw. You destroy your own scrap cards, you get a plus, and then when you destroy Beast, you can throw in Chimera to the grave, add it to your hand. Go into Scrapjag next turn. Great card to have. Run 3. Just because I couldn't find more space in for this deck, most people would run 2. I ran 1 because it adds that consistency of grabbing Scrap Beast and going in for Scrap Dragon or sinking in general. Great card to have. Staple. Adds consistency. Always run 2 now. Most people would run 3, but since I did not have the space, I decided to run 2. MST it's just a staple.
It's MST.
Yeah, it's just MST.
You can't just not run MST.
Same thing with these 3 staples. And then Pot of Avarice, because this does rely on the graveyard a lot. You can send a bunch of monsters, get draws from this. It's great to have in this kind of deck. Okay. Traps, Solemn Brigade. Every deck should run the Solemn Brigade. I run Bombless because, like, this is a slow deck, so I'm mostly focused on disrupting my opponent's play, so I run 2 Bottomless. Great card to have. Same with Torrential, especially for windups and stuff that summon heavily. I always run a Torrential, so it's a great card to have. I run 2. Same with Dimensional Prison. Some people prefer Compulse. I prefer Dimensional Prison. Stops the Zen main pushes. They can try to suicide into stuff. I love it. I run 2. Call, just because you can bring out Scrap Beast and pop for more advantage, search out, grab a Chimera, or if you want to sync into Scrap Dragon, you can pop the Call. It's just a free target for Scrap Dragon. I love it because you can just toolbox for any of the other cards in the graveyard like Geargias and stuff, and it helps. I run 2. And then the 2 Starlight. Basically, because I do run a lot of back row, I usually run 1. But since most people nowadays are running Heavy, Darkhold, Double Torrential, I run 2.
And Double Mirror Force.
And Double Mirror Force, I run 2.
Alright, now for the extra.
Chimera Tech, just because most people would side in Cyber Dragons against me game 2. Great card to have. Staple. Mostly level 4 things, just in case I didn't want to go into Geargia. I could always go into Maestroke, which can't be destroyed. Shockmaster's always great for stuff unexpected, like Monster Mash or anything like that. Anything that has like that odd choice of deck. Utopia's a staple. Pearl, just because he's an Earth, in case I side in with Goes and Match. Pap, just because it's Pap.
Who wins games?
Then I have 1 of her Queen Dragon to Gen because I could have Scrap Dragons in the graveyard. I can Exceeds for her, bring back a Scrap Dragon, and then just kind of sit on it for a while. I only run 1. Whoops. Because I am running Geargia, I do run 2 Gigants. Searches out that Weisel that I mentioned earlier. Search out Excel. Great card to have.
Except for
I would always run 2.
Not regarding first place.
And then here's the heart and soul of this deck is the 3 Scrap Dragons. This wins games. Simply put.
Salties, where'd you get those?
One from you.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
Is that a self-promoting statement?
No.
Gee, who sold you those wonderful cards?
I didn't say
But no, basically this makes the deck. You go into Scrap Dragon. You can pop your own scrap cards for more pluses. You could pop the empty call.
Make Weisel.
Make Wise. You could make Weisel.
Did you want Return?
Yes.
The newest?
Yeah.
Be right back.
Great card to have in this deck. Always run 3.
I run 4.
And then these are just cuz Stardust for the Starlight Roads. Great card. It prevents destruction. Just only for the Starlights. And then the Thought Ruler, just in case I ever do need to go into something that I need to have a safe option. If it's not Scrap Dragon, I always go into 1.
That guy's pretty underrated.
He
Yeah,
is.
thanks for the profile, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, the deck does really well, so net take it.